Hey everybody, Pete A. Turner coming at you here, asking you to check out my technology podcast called Popping the Bubble. There's no E on the end of bubble, B-U-B-B-L. Sandra Ponce de Leon and I, we get in and we demystify what's going on in the Silicon Valley. You want to know where we're headed? Come check us out.
This is Mick Gillette.
This is Jay Moore.
This is Greg Proops.
This is Gabby Reese.
This is Nate Boyer.
This is Hilliard Guest.
This is Nathan
This
East.
is Rob Bell.
This is J.R. Robinson.
This is Dan Stone.
This is Dr. Bob Greenberg.
Hey, this is John Leon Guerrero.
Hey, I'm Mark Valley.
Hey, and this is Pete A. Turner.
Back to a story that I have to tell.
Yes.
And you must let me tell it. And it's only because Curt was sweet enough to make me a second martini that my tongue has been loosened to the point that I will basically say anything I need to say.
All right. That's where we like it. That's where we like it.
So I had...
Nice work, Curt.
Looking back 6 months.
There's high-fiving happening.
Looking back to the last 6 months.
Looking back 6 months. Mm-hmm.
I had grand plans in April of this year. I was looking at a fairly easy, indeed, an almost leisurely summer where I was going to write all about John and Pete and all about the Break It Down show.
Cannot wait.
No, I was. And I'm still going to.
Okay.
And I was going to become a composer again because I haven't written any music since 2014, which hurts. And I love doing it. It's so much fun, and I'm actually fairly good at it.
Is the Phoenix Symphony waiting on you to write some music?
No, not music.
Okay.
Not music.
We'll get there.
And then I had this phone call. Now, prior to the phone call, as I'm sure your audience knows, I issued 2 courses, 2 video audio courses that I created myself in January of last year. And that was, or January of this year. One of them was called Mozart in Vienna and the Music of the 20th Century.
Yes.
And that was, I was breaking away from my work with the great courses and creating my own courses. And the 20th Century Music course I made was makeable because I didn't include any musical examples in the course. I included URLs that would allow the listener to go and listen
Straight to the source.
Straight to the source. And that way I didn't have to license pieces of music that
Spectacular. Still paying proper homage to them and not having
For sure.
Well, in any case, having issued these courses, I felt that in my heart of hearts, someone was going to see them and say, this is great, let's do more of this. Well, the last people I expected to do that were the ones who came up.
Right.
It was back to the teaching company, back to the great courses.
Yeah.
They contacted me in June, we talked, and basically the good people there said, we want you to re-record this 20th Century Music course for us.
I think what they said was, we didn't realize what we were missing here in this 20th century course. And we love you, great courses.
John Kimosabe sees the truth.
Yes.
And I said, no, of course I won't do that. What's my incentive for recording for you when I get this minuscule little bit of royalty, when I get everything?
The whole pie when I record for myself.
And so the great courses said to me in June, if you recreate and record this course for us, we will allow you to sell it on your website for download, and you can take 50%, and you'll get 50%.
Yeah.
All right.
But not only that,
that is a true artist royalty there.
Yes.
we'll allow you to sell all of your courses on your website.
Wow.
Going back to 1993.
Okay. Wow.
And I have to jump in here. And for those that haven't listened to the past Dr. Bob episodes, know that I am deep steeped. The reason why you're here is because I had to talk to you. What you have done for me personally has enriched my life tremendously. My dad has a degree in music. He calls it
he says sacred music.
Sacred music, right? Thanks for telling me what my dad says because I've had too much gin.
It's really divinity.
Yeah, he's got a master's in divinity and the sacred music thing. And so we had Bach in the house. We had all of these guys, but he never took the time, because he's a dad and he's got other things to do, to explain it. And then you put the context of the stuff that was back in the back of my head catalog, you know?
Well, God bless us all. So as of January 15th of 2018, all of my courses will be on my website for download. And the great courses, the teaching company is sharing all of their advertising copy, all of their everything, because I'm now a distributor. And this is a huge, big deal for me because it means that my Facebook followers and my LinkedIn contact and every webcast I do and everything like this is going to bring people to my website.
Yes.
Buy my courses from me.
And they're so good.
Download them from me. Download them. Don't, you know what? It's all cool. I mean, if you want to go to the great courses and download them, fine.
Yeah.
But do it from me. I have 2 little kids, a 9-year-old, 11-year-old.
That's right.
It'll make them easier to send them to college. Frankly, I'd rather send them to, San Francisco State. But if they want to go to a real school, my 2 older kids, okay, my daughter went to the University of California, San Diego. So she did great. But my son went to NYU. Duh.
Wow.
Costly.
Yeah.
Costly. Private school.
That's going to pay off.
Here I am at 63 still thinking about college education.
Right. Where you're going to send these.
Yeah, I'm going to be in my mid-70s when my son is. So
Have you considered junior college?
I've considered slavery in Libya.
Right.
Well, I would say
I've considered the salt.
That's
salt
a thing.
mines.
Salt mines.
The salt mines. But
that salt needs to be mined, man.
Yeah, but they're from Oakland, so they're going to lip off and they're going to get creamed.
That's right. They are from the biggity biggity.
Yeah, they're going to lip off,
town.
and that'll be the end of that. You making me dig salt? No,
I'll dig salt.
that's
for
going
you.
to be the end of that.
I'll dig salt for me.
Yeah,
So
I put salt on my
that
eggs.
is robertgreenberg.com. So robertgreenberg.com.
Correct.
Is the website you should visit to enlighten yourself, to embark on a journey through these courses of enlightenment for yourself.
And also to add to this, the courses will be up on my website as of January 15.
Okay.
But also still, I do a tremendous amount of music blogging. I do a Monday music history.
It's so good. Yeah.
Listen, it takes me a day to write each of these things.
Right.
So I do a Monday blog that is about whatever happened that particular day in music history. And it could be the Grateful Dead. It could be, as the one I was writing today, Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach.
Right.
It could be anybody. But I try to write a good 1,000-word article about that day. So anyway, back to my Facebook address, which is my Facebook fan page, which is Robert Greenberg Music on Facebook. I'm trying to put a lot of really cool stuff out there. This music's for...
That's a great place to go. This is Facebook.com/Robert Greenberg Music.
This music is for all of us.
It is. It's for all of us, and it's for posterity.
It belongs to all of us. It should give all of us pleasure and joy. And the more we know about it, the more we enjoy it, the more pleasure it gives us.
That's true. Here's the thing about rock and roll music of the generation just before us, is that we appreciate it because we know the stories.
Right.
We understand the struggle, the torment, and eventual passing of Jimi Hendrix. We understand
the brilliance of the Beatles.
The brilliance of the Beatles, and all of those things were just a generation removed. And what you do is you bridge the gap of generations.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm trying to do because it's all the same thing.
It is all the same thing. You're talking about all the rock stars.
If we use the Greenberg principle, it's 3 lifetimes of your dad.
My dad's lifetime, 92 years.
92 years.
Okay. So 3 consecutive lifetimes. And that's not a big deal. 3 consecutive lifetimes of 92 years. Granted, a good lifetime. So 276 years.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. We're recording this. We're sitting here. It's December of 2017.
Right.
So 276 years ago, it was 1741. Johann Sebastian Bach was sitting there in his home in Leipzig writing the Goldberg Variations, one of the great masterworks of all time. By the way, he was 56 years old at that time. 1741.
And you're 56.
No, I'm 63, dude.
Never mind.
Nice try.
Won't take the
I
layup.
love you.
He swatted it. He's like, you're like, here's the ball. And he's like,
I
I
gave him
love
an
you.
alley-oop and he swatted it.
I've already hit the three-pointer from 28.
The two-handed set shot.
Okay, back to 1741. George Washington and Joseph Haydn were 9 years old.
Wow.
And George Washington was presumably chopping down cherry trees.
Right.
1741, Mozart will not be born for another 15 years.
Wow.
And in 1741, Maria Magdalena Keverich, Beethoven's mother, had not yet been born.
Wow.
Yes, and Beethoven himself would not be born for another 29 years.
Let me see if my
That's just 3 lifetimes. That's excuse me. That's our time. This music, our music,
Right.
is
It's our
utterly
grandpa's music. Yeah, potentially.
It's our music. It's contemporary, and it was created.
music,
It was created by people just like
us. You know why just like us? Because just like you said, American music is black music that was created of desire. It was created of poverty. It was created of want. And the music...
But it was also created with joy. I have to add that
Well,
because
it was
you've listened to
created
blues.
with joy.
Blues is joyful.
Yes.
Blues, for all its unhappiness, is a joyful music.
Because-
it's a music of optimism.
Because of the want. There was the want in the field, there was the want in the hot sun, and then they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to celebrate what we are joyful for.
But the field hollers that you're invoking are not what blues was created after the purported freedom of the slaves.
in the brothels.
No,
but that is true,
Ragtime was.
Yeah.
Ragtime was. The joy of American music, of this music, which is this combination of Africa and Europe, is that it is so intrinsically American in that it's optimistic.
Yeah.
In that ultimately it's about laughing at pain. It's about making fun of the bullshit. So when people say to me, and they say this to me all the freaking time, because, as an academe, as a 63-year-old gray-haired academe, I look safe. And folks say to me, oh, rap. I mean, this is so tiresome and old. Oh, rap and hip-hop. Isn't it awful? And I say it's not awful at all. It's not awful at all. I mean, rap plays the same role in the late 20th century as blues played in the late 19th century. It's a protest. It's a protest poetry.
Yep.
First and foremost, it is a protest poetry accompanied by the rhythms of West Africa.
The contemporary...
Of a huge slice of American population that has never been allowed into the larger environment.
Right.
Okay. Do white people react with fear towards
Law enforcement?
towards violent and misogynistic rap? Okay, I understand you. I understand you white people who don't get it. I do. I honestly do. But you have to understand.
This is a 56-year-old Jew.
63.
I'm
swatting the layup again away. Again, cannot let the layup happen.
This music is as relevant and as important
to history as
to
was
everything.
Yeah.
As was blues in the 19th and early 20th century.
Right. The way that we look back on that music.
To pretend this racist bullshit. And excuse me, I'm no I'm no cause person here, but we need to strip all the crap away and simply address the issue. Black America has been screwed by their situation. They are still treated like slaves or lesser human beings by a huge community of America. And their music is still a protest against that. And yet their music becomes mainstream. Look what's going on with Hamilton.
Yeah.
I mean, this wonderful musical that has become mainstream, and it's about rap. It's about protest music.
And who makes the money on it? White dudes.
Well, yeah. It's, who made all the money off the jazz, the early jazz guys? Yeah, white dudes. So without trying to get too cynical about the business of music, because whenever business is involved, cynicism is inevitable.
For sure.
Inevitable. Back to the artistic bottom line, and that is, we need to show magnificent respect. And I don't care whether the rap is perceived as being violent or this or that. These are folks who deserve to feel the way they feel. These are folks who deserve to be angry. I'm sorry.
So you plugged earlier, Pete, the Santa Barbara Olive Company. Well, we all plugged the Santa Barbara Olive Company. Let's be honest.
Plug or ate, whatever you want to call it. We love it. Yeah.
I want to plug a podcast that you turned me on to recently called Dissect.
I don't know if you know this, but Cole Kuchna, who does
does the Dissect
and you're
single-handedly.
This is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
he said, "I love Dr. Greenberg. Like he loves what you do, and you have
Who
no
is
idea."
he?
Let me tell you about.
I'm going to
Cole
shut up
Kushner.
now and get out of the way.
Here's the thing about Cole Kushner. He has yet to acknowledge my presence in the universe. That's okay. But he has had contact
But I
with
need to
people.
kill him for that.
But here's the thing about Cole Kushner. He has a podcast called Dissect. And the first season of Dissect was a dissection of a piece of work called To Pimp a Butterfly. And it's an album, and perhaps the most important album in the last 20 years by Kendrick Lamar. And it is a masterwork.
Who is Kendrick
Truly
Lamar?
a masterwork.
He's the guy that Stuart Copeland said is expanding music right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So-
and he's a
and-
rapper
A
producer.
rapper producer. Got
Right.
it.
And To Pimp a Butterfly was a narrative of, let's just say, his feelings. But what Cole Kushner did in his Dissect podcast
So
was he
good.
did an entire season.
I wanted to take a second out of the show and talk to you guys about our sponsor, WeFixYourScript.com. What I love about these guys is they're encouraging you, just like John, Mark, and I, to create something. If you think screenwriting is your thing, or if you've got a script that you're kind of stuck on, this is what you do. You don't got to buy anything. Just give these guys a call. Schedule a 15-minute consultation for free. It's WeFixYourScript.com. I highly encourage you guys to support these guys. Reach out to us. Reach out to them. Reach out to WeFixYourScript.com.
Where the first episode, he introduced his audience to the idea of To Pimp a Butterfly and the backstory of Kendrick Lamar. And then the subsequent episodes took that album track by track and dissected
Bit by bit.
everything down to the samples that he chose, the likely reasons that he chose those samples,
The chords.
why sampling is important in this form of music, and why the samples were chosen for the chord progressions that they were. Because, and he goes into, he's a student of composition, and he goes into the dominant and tonic chords and the chords that create resolution in our hearts and the things that leave us hanging
Let
musically.
me do a little bit of work here. So this is Cole Kushner's. Most importantly, it's Dissect podcast. You guys all have to go check this out. And it's Greenbergian.
It is Greenbergian.
No doubt. There's
Dang.
your fingers are on this, and I know
Dang.
Cole would agree.
I have yet to meet Cole Kushner, but I love this guy.
Yeah.
And I've told him so. I sent him an email just a couple days ago. He hasn't replied to it yet, but I said, listen, your shit is dope. Those are the words that I used. And I said that, and what I was thinking at the time was, you may be this youthful generation's Dr. Bob Greenberg.
How old is he?
I don't know yet. I haven't met him.
Yeah, we're supposed to do a show with him
Cole Kirshner?
Kushner.
soon. I'll link you guys up
Link
because
me
I've
up.
got emails from you guys. But what's important is that he, and it's a separate, like we've not talked to him yet, but independent of that, and he didn't know we were going to talk to you. So like this week he said, "Oh, I love."
He
I'm like,
tweeted this.
Yeah.
Completely independent of us.
You actually ended up.
Okay, so guys,
acknowledging it.
so the Great Courses asked me to create this 20th century music course for them in June. So between July 1st and September 1st, I wrote 60,000 new words.
Those were the 3 months when you didn't answer the phone.
Those were the 3 months, dude, where I didn't take a shit.
Right.
Excuse me.
Okay.
And I know you need to take that
Thanks for
out.
the visual.
Yeah, no, you don't want to go there. I had all these plans for my summer, and instead, I wrote and wrote and wrote, and then I finished on September 1st, and then 5 days later, I flew out to D.C. and spent 2 weeks recording, which I had not planned on doing. Then I had gigs.
2 solid weeks of recording.
2 solid weeks of recording. I came home. Then I had a gig in L.A. I had a gig in San Diego. I had a gig in Seattle. I had a gig in Tucson. I had a
This
gig
feels
in
like
Phoenix.
an interview
Phoenix.
with Kurt Cobain, by the way.
I had a gig in Cleveland. I had a gig in Houston. And then my dad died in there, so I had a gig in New Jersey. And that was my fall. Meanwhile, at the same time, I'm contacted by the Phoenix Symphony. They want me to record 9 verbal program notes. I'll drink that for you.
Okay.
They want me to record 9 verbal program notes and do 3 lectures for their spring series.
Wow.
So I was in Phoenix last week. I wrote the program notes. Again, another 1,000 words per.
Right.
And that's another day's worth of work
Yeah.
per 1,000 words. And now I have to write the lectures that I have to deliver in Phoenix. So it's all good. But you can't say no.
Yeah.
No, you can't say no.
You're self-employed. You can't say no.
You say yes because you're the guy
right.
that says yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's been our motto the whole time I've
Yeah.
known Pete.
Really?
The entire time I've known Pete. We have to say yes.
Back to when they're like, "Will you come in and sing When I'm 64?"
Sure.
Yep.
We'll do that.
Matter of fact, I'm getting my daughter from the airport. She says yes too. And she's in the air.
Yep.
And you land, and Brenda's like, "Yeah, of course."
Listen, the moment you say no, you not only close that door, you close every door that could
You're
be
the guy
behind
that says
that
no.
door.
Yeah.
And now that I know that I'm selling my courses, and so I'm working on creating a brochure for my courses, that I need to go to these places and hand these damn brochures out.
Yeah.
So it's all crazy. And listen, everyone at this table is here because he is an entrepreneur and he is talented and he can't work for any other fucking person.
I was going to use the
I
words.
was trying to trick somebody into giving me some.
No,
I was going to use the words well hung.
no.
Everybody at this table.
I
Anyway.
would like, but the well hung thing doesn't mean anything
No,
because you know what?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I agree with that too. And let's run with that because it's making
Bob
me
got
feel better
distracted.
about myself.
All right.
You got distracted mid.
We're going to keep drinking. We're gonna keep-
But back to the larger point,
Yes.
and that is when you're self-employed,
Yep.
you have one choice, and that is to say yes.
That's true.
The moment you say no, you close doors you never know existed.
Yep.
No, by saying yes, your energies might also be wasted, but that's not your problem. You have to
right.
do the best you can.
That's true.
I'm self-employed at my age.
Since
in
you're in
all
a-
of this with these babies,
Yeah.
We have
you
to
know?
attract yes by saying yes.
Since you're in a mood to say yes, I want to get Placido Domingo on the show, and he runs the LA Opera.
Yes.
So I'm going to get him, and you're going to come down and sit in.
And you tell Placido that he and I actually met
Nice.
at Ravinia at the music
In Chicago.
In Chicago,
No
at
kidding.
The Ravinia Festival. We met because I was Ravinia's blah 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 for about
Resident?
5 wonderful, and so I was there when he and this soprano, at least 40 years his junior, put on this money-raising concert. He was about 71 at the time. He has to be in his late 70s now.
Yeah.
He sang like a fucking prince.
Yeah. That's why I want to grab him.
Here's a guy who, at his age, should be retired.
Yeah.
And instead, he gets up on stage
I
with,
see
this,
Dan sneaking up.
with this little young chick. And the two of them brought down the freaking house.
Yep.
And here's what he's done since then. You know what this dude has done since then? This guy has decided, okay, my voice is not the high tenor voice it used to be.
Right.
It's a baritone voice now. So I'm going to learn all these new parts and
That's-
sing baritone parts.
How
And that's
incredible
what
is
he's
that?
doing.
This is why I want you to sit next
And
to me when I
that's
do
what
this,
he's-
so I can shut
and
up
that's
and look
what
good.
No, that's what he's doing. And his artistry is such.
Yeah.
And his memory is such. Because remember what it also means to learn a part to
That's
an
right.
opera.
That's right.
And to learn 5 new parts, 10 new parts in his 70s.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you want to know about someone who I want to be? I want to be the
I'm gonna do
Placido
it.
Domingo of what I do. We all want to be the Placido Domingo.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or as Sesame Street did, the Placido Flamingo.
Flamingo.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do it, and I want to tell you another funny story too. My
The man is a machine.
He is, and I'm going to focus my machine-like attitude on him and get him. And I want you sitting there
Just
shotgun.
saying. Just saying.
My girlfriend was in Scotland having a dinner, doing a walk across the nation.
Pete's playing up. Have I said that? I've said
I'm
that.
playing way up. Yeah. My girlfriend is known as the prize.
When do we get to meet her?
As soon as I can. You know what? When you come down.
All right.
Because she ain't coming up. She comes up once a year. She's in Scotland having dinner, and some guy looks across and says, "What are you having?" And she's a chatter, so she chats him up. And he not only runs.
Is chatter another word for smoking hot?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
Is she?
Yeah, no, she's smoking hot. Yes, there's no doubt.
Clearly.
This is known.
See, John, you are like so far ahead of me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My knowledge of the current lingo is like 1964.
Let's understand right now that John is not current on any of the lingo.
That's not true. That's not true.
I don't believe
told
you
Pete
for a
the other
moment.
day, I feel like I'm 25. Because I do. I feel like I'm 25. And you know what Pete retorted with? Have you heard yourself get out of a chair? That's what he says.
All right. At least he didn't say, have you heard yourself try to start a stream?
Okay, there's that too.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to go.
But welcome to my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My dad, God bless him. We talked about him before. He had what we called. My dad's name was Alvin. Alvin. No one is named Alvin anymore.
No.
Since the Chipmunks, no one is named
Right.
Alvin. But okay, he was Al. And my dad would come up with these stories.
I'm trying to drink
My dad
something
would
here.
come up with these moronic stories, and we would call them altruisms. Okay. But he did have the Al's rules of life. Okay. And I'm going to share you with the
This is
wisdom my dad
why
shared
we're
with
here.
me. All right.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Never walk past a urinal without using it.
Okay.
It's good advice.
Okay? Never hold in a fart. Never waste an erection.
That's good advice.
Just sharing this with you.
Yeah.
Just sharing
Right.
this with you.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay?
it could be
Not
the last one.
necessarily. in
It
that
could
order.
be the last one.
Right.
True.
And you know what? We don't really want to think about that with a 92-year-old guy.
Right.
But he still had his prescription for Viagra that he got from the Veterans
And
Administration.
a
from
Willie
the VA.
Nelson quote is, "I've outlived my dick." So let's be honest. If you got the medicine that work, you keep working it.
He got a prescription for Viagra from the VA. Mm-hmm. The VA kept him alive for God knows how
I'm
many
going to
years.
go to the VA and get some.
Yeah,
Viagra.
duh.
Yeah.
Not that I need it, but why not stock up?
I wish I could have inherited the prescription at least, but that didn't happen.
I'll take care of you.
I got two brothers; they took care of me instead. But bottom line,
Yeah.
we all do the best we can.
I want to finish my story about my girlfriend. She's in
Your
Scotland.
girlfriend?
Yes.
So she's in Scotland.
She meets a guy, and he's in town for the Edinburgh Festival. Like, it seems like a pretty big deal, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. I'm here to perform. What do you do?" Well, I run the Chicago Symphony or Opera, one of the two. I can't remember which one it is, and the Sydney, because they alternate seasons, and so he just works all year long. And he's a
Probably
knight.
opera. Probably.
Yeah, probably opera. And then he's a knight on top of that. So I'm going to go to Chicago and go get that guy, and you got to come with.
No. And this will
Did you say yes?
No, this will be Chicago Lyric. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
The opera is Chicago Lyric. Third highest budget of an opera company in the United States.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number one is the Met. Number two, San Francisco.
Oh,
Number three, Chicago Lyric.
all right.
And you want to talk about, and then number four, Houston Grand.
Really?
So those are
This is why I need you to sit shotgun on these opera shows.
These are the opera companies with the most money, the most recordings, the most honor.
Yeah.
And it's a big freaking
Say
deal.
that again one more time.
Okay. Metropolitan Opera, San Francisco Opera, Chicago Lyric, Houston Grand Opera.
That means if you're in any of those cities and you don't take your girl
Big
to the opera,
freaking time, baby.
you're fucking
You're
crazy.
missing a big
Big
time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, he's feeling crazy. And
Yeah.
you know what? You can't unbreathe crazy.
Right, you can't. Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
duh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get those guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get those guys.
This is my drink right here.
So here's I want to say, because we're rounding third base here, and we need to let you get
Jesus,
to your
we've
family.
already gone around twice.
I know, we've gone around twice.
No.
That our listeners should go to robertgreenberg.com and get yourself an education in literate music. Get yourself an education that you deserve
Yes.
in literate music. Because understand that, like Pete said, if you live in one of those cities and you've not taken your girl to the opera, you've truly denied yourself an artistic experience. And when we define art, really the thing that defines art is something that someone has created that will invoke emotion, deep, deep emotion in you.
Yeah.
And if you take your girl to that experience, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah. And I'll say this too, as a consumer, this is how we all got together, because I consumed your product and said, this is a life-changing thing. What opera should I listen to? Tell me about Mozart's operas. Tell me about the concertos. Tell me about the quartets. All that stuff. 666 episodes when you did your own one, finally. Hundreds of hours of stuff. And this is, I'm not getting paid to say this. This is genuine. I've spent a lot of money, and I will continue to, because what you give back, okay, I can't pay back. All I can do is beg people on my show to do the same thing.
To enrich yourself.
Please.
Enrich yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's 100% truth.
Yep. You know what? I think we need to close you up because we're at an hour and 26. And
my daughter is like back there.
chomping at the bit.
We got to get her warmed up to close us out, because that's what we do when our pops die. And
Lily, come and play Mozart.
I just want to say this is Curt Dunaway.
Yeah.
Sitting in,
Yep.
listening
Yes.
to the incredible
Yeah.
Dr. Greenberg.
Yep.
You, my friend, will tell me what I can do for you. No, not
You've
tonight.
done it.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
I know my man.
No, not tonight.
He will. He will. He absolutely
You
will.
will tell me what I can
You will do
for
a favor.
The fact is that
I'm
I'm lucky
grateful
enough.
that you were here and you made me a lovely martini, dude.
This
that's
is
all you
Dr.
need to
Bob
do.
saying
This
that
is-
you made him a lovely martini.
And our dumbasses never thought to do it.
I can't say that before my daughter, but I will do for you now. So you figure out what I can do for you. Just saying.
What I want to express,
Lily,
and commit,
go play your
and
Mozart.
commit to posterity, is that I am sitting at the table in Casa Greenberg with three of my favorite human beings, honestly, and
Lily, Dr.
Wait one second,
Greenberg,
Lily.
Curt.
and Curt. That's true. Wait, it was three, and then Lily left.
No. Lily, are you ready to play? Play. No, from the beginning.
This is Lily and Greenberg, ladies and gentlemen.
No, come.
Big Al Greenberg.